Okay, so a really common thing we do in industry is we revise our drawings. And so this is a chance for you to get a practice at doing that. This is activity 4, which is all about revising drawings. Now, if your drawings came out perfect, you'll do part of this. You'll give it a new file name with an R1, but you won't need to do any work to get it right. But mostly, many people will have got something that they maybe need to change. And even if you don't need to change anything, we're going to be doing more work on the file, and so we're going to revise it. And that's just something that's very common in industry. It's a big part of industry is controlling and working with and doing drawing revisions. So here's an example of one. It looks a pretty nice drawing. You'll recognize that as a drawing 1.1, and it's got my name on it. So this is one that I did, Plate 1.1 RS. So the first thing to do when it's time to make revisions, somebody has told you that it's time, your drafting manager or engineer or project manager says, okay, we need some revisions. A common way of doing this is not the only way, but it's the way we're going to do it in our class. Common way is to save the file with the new revision number on it. And this will be our first revision, so it will be in R1. It's not always how it goes. There are some very good programs that track them and check them out and do all these other things. But I find that for the very beginning, just resaving your file with a new name is a very safe and good way to make revisions. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to open up my Plate 1.1 and then I'll do a save as. And let me get it into the right place. It's my summer 2024, and I might get something here called section 1. Nice to have everything in a folder. And so this is Plate 1.1-RS-R1, revision number 1. So that's the very first thing that you do is you make a new file. Now my old file is still safe. It's there. I can go back to it if I want. But this is now one where I'm going to be doing some more work. And then it says make any revisions. Revise the file. And so you would go back to Canvas and find out if there was a drawing that showed something that was wrong. Red in those drawings is the correct one. And this is what mine is at. So I could probably put that measurement on there. I need that to be 1.5. So I've gotten better at drawing since I did this. I'm just going to draw a new line. 1.500. And then I'll come down. I'll do the same thing over here. 1.500. And then I'll go up. And then I'll get rid of that old line. And it's okay with me if I've got a line over the top of another line, but if I want to get rid of one of those lines, I can do that. I can encircle just that line and hit delete. So there we go. Now I see that these are all thin. So now it's time to load my layers, my dim styles, my text styles into the file, and then assign these to the geo layer. So remember, we just went through a whole bunch of stuff, and gosh, I don't want to do all that work again. So I'm going to type DC for the Design Center, and I'll look at my open drawings, and there they are right there. I'm going to dock it over to the side, pull it over, and let it go over on the side. Now I need to make sure I'm in my current drawing, Plate 1.1. This is showing open because I need to get to it. Okay, And in my design center, I need to make sure that the one that's expanded is the library resource. There's a lot of details to cover here. So go slow, pay attention to each of the details. And so it says load my layers. And it says make sure that you've got the geo layer in each one. Let's see if the geo layer is even in here. Nope. I need the geo layer. So I've gone to my design center. I've clicked open drawings. I've opened my library resource drawing. And I double click on my layers and there they are. There's geo. I'm going to use my left mouse button, hold it down, drag it into my revision file, let go. Cool. Now if I go up to my little layers window and click on it, there's geo. Here's how to assign these layers, these lines to the geometry layer. Select the lines. I went right to left, so I just have to touch each one. Go up to the little layer window, click on geo. There we go. Now they're all, I might as well put them all on the geo layer. There we go. There's another way to do that if you want. I'm going to show you another way. Another way is to go right click out in this click on those three lines and right click on them and find the properties. And then the color is by layer and the layer is geo. And my line weight is by layer. There we go. That's how we do all those. Now look, these ones, those have some weird line weight. I got to get all of those to say by layer. So I did something really weird when I drew this at the start. And that can happen to you. You want the colors all to say by layer, should all be on the geometry layer, and the line weights should say by layer. Now everything is right. And the reason I'm showing you these is, we didn't really take any care when we first drew it. Anything could have happened. So now we're showing you how to make your drawing meet a set of standards. It's commonly done at the start of any kind of project where you get somebody else's drawing. Okay, so there we go. So that is the revised drawings. This should now look right. You can measure some lines, 0.86 by 1.5, or over here, or get on the top, or so you can do that. Or you can type the letters DIST for distance and make sure that you've got it right. Okay, at this point I do not want to see a whole bunch of dimensions on here, but if you want to just check it out, you can put a dimension on there and then delete it. So those are all things that you can do. So I've made my revisions. I'm only going to show this to you on plate 1.1. You'll do the same thing for all plates that need revision. You'll go back, look at the notes from Canvas where you were given markups or directions, and then you'll do your best to get the drawing corrected. Once it's corrected, you'll put things on the correct layer, and then you'll save the file with an R1 at the end.